They've canceled March Madness. They've canceled hockey. They've canceled football. They've canceled all large gatherings. There's no toilet paper to be found anywhere. Food is becoming scarce. Here comes the real question. There's nothing to do. Facebook is inundated with all kinds of negative reports. It seems that the news is reporting nothing but hysteria and confusion. And we don't even have a single case here in Westmoreland County of this coronavirus that seems to be taking everybody off guard. So how do we react? What is it that we're supposed to do?
Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum.
Chose my wardrobe carefully this morning. I needed the reminder, so I wore a shirt that I made for a sermon series that we did here at Keystone Church from the past. It reads like this: "You over me," and it comes from Philippians 2:3. I'll put that verse up, and you'll be able to see that right now because it really pertains to what it is that we're going to be talking about today. I mean, part of the world says button down, do all that you can to contain yourself, put yourself in isolation and stay away from everybody, and that will solve everything. But the reality is that doesn't seem to be the solution that's perfect. For me personally, as a pastor here in Greensburg, what I really hope is that we gather together every Sunday for worship in this place, and these seats are filled. And my thought is, I wonder how many people are going to stay away because of the confusion and because of the fear. And then I wonder how many people just want to get out and do something and just experience something normal. And so the question comes up with all the news articles and all the reports of isolation and needing to isolate and all this. Do we have a service or do we not have a service? Do we cancel or do we just keep going? Because nothing has said mandated that we cancel. And so if nothing has been mandated that we cancel, the question comes, where's the discretion line? Where's the discretionary line that we can make a judgment that is a good judgment and a fair judgment for everybody that will be here, but then also for what it is that we're supposed to do? Well, a little word of caution in all of this. Make sure that you're thinking through all this and being smart too. I decided it'd be a good thing to call maybe some of the elderly people in the church and check on them and see if there's anything they're needed while I'm running to the store to get a couple of things. And so I called my mother-in-law and she was offended. So I don't know how this is going to affect Sunday lunch tomorrow, but I may have messed up just trying to help people out and ended up offending them. I thought it was hilarious. Some of you are triggered quite a bit by this and you have some anxiety running through you and you're scared and you're wondering what it is that you're supposed to be doing. Some of you may have seen on the news, Jim Baker had this snake oil solution that he sold as a possible cure for coronavirus and is now being charged because he said this silver solution that he had come up with or that they had been using was a surefire way to cure this, and he's under investigation now. I want to offer something to you. I don't have a surefire solution. I'm not an expert. I have zero medical experience whatsoever with the coronavirus, and all of the studying that I have done about the coronavirus, which has been little to none, has pretty much been the exact same study that you've done. So I do not have any authority or any opinion that will outweigh anything that you have heard or read. So if you are banking on this being some sort of answer to you, not that I think that anybody's watching this thinking that, please understand I don't have an answer and I don't have a solution for you. My plan is to gather together and worship in service on Sunday because of the fact that don't see that there has been a threat that has shown up in Westmoreland County. And then on top of that, there is no one that is mandating that we don't meet together. There may come a time when we make that decision to cancel services and to isolate out of this building. And that's perfectly fine, because once again, if people are doing that, I'm not saying that you've made the poor choice. But here's what I look at this through. I claim that I believe in this person called Jesus. And in the Bible, there is this set of law codes that is given in the Old Testament. And there was all kinds of rules and regulations and ways of handling things like sickness, for instance, leprosy and all these other things that they gave ways in how to handle that. And the ways that they would handle that is isolation and cut them off and stay away from them, because the problem comes that transmission can be given from disease. It's something the Bible understood far before there was science. Transmission of a disease can be given by touch or some other thing. So isolation is the best way to approach that. Here's the idea. The idea is that the bad things can be transmitted when we come in contact and we get around them. So the Bible teaches this separation, this idea of separating away from the bad things. And that's a teaching throughout the whole Bible until we get to the New Testament, when this man comes along called Jesus, who claims to be God, and he goes into the sick and the hurting and the troubled people, and where he's supposed to isolate because of his ritual, religious, ceremonial purification laws and ideas. What he does is he moves closer to them, and where he's supposed to stay further away from them so that he doesn't catch what they have, he rather moves closer to them and reaches out and touches them in hopes that they catch what it is that he's offering. And then healing is experienced, community is experienced, and all these things that sin was bringing about, the isolation, the disease, the troubling things, all of that seemed to go away because Jesus does things different. And then he calls me and he says, now you are the church. If you're a follower of mine, you're the church. And the church is supposed to be doing what I'm doing. So what is my goal and my focus in this time as I'm looking at the coronavirus? I'm going to listen to the officials. I am going to respect the situation that's going and treat it with a certain level of care and concern that needs to exist in times like this. And once again, I'm not giving medical advice, but here's what I am saying. When I do things in the name of the God that I serve and that I believe, I'm going to come together, and the church is going to be the arm that is reaching out and touching and helping the untouchable and the unhelpable. There are two ways to deal with all of this. One way is to stockpile everything that you can and hoard everything you can for yours and your own. And the other way is to hold out and try to serve and help as many people as you can. I think that pretty much everybody across the board agrees that holding out and helping everybody that you can should be our first approach in the way that we approach everything. The problem comes in that the people that know that it is best to hold out and help as many people as we can, the reason that they're stockpiling and doing all that they can for them and their own is because they understand that there will be people that think the bad way. So therefore, in order to protect themselves, it is best to go ahead and do the bad thing and approach the bad way, because it is at least you're being taken care of when everybody else is going to be an idiot, and you know it's inevitable that everybody's going to be an idiot. But hold on, I believe that we should always do what is right and what is best no matter what. The Bible even leaves a clause and an idea for that. When we are on the path of doing what it is that we're supposed to do, then God provides for our needs. Now, before you interpret that too far and say that I mean something that I don't mean in any way, let me explain what I mean. My goal in life is not to put me first. It's not for me to consider myself first. I will consider the things that I need, and I will do the things that I need to do, but my goal is to consider other people in considering all those things also. I'm not going to the store to hoard everything that I can and buy up everything that I can and stockpile everything that I can in hopes that the future will be taken care of. The reason I'm not doing that is because that same teacher that taught me how to love people when they're going through difficult, terrible, traumatic things and reached out and touched them and helped them also said that if you seek the kingdom of God first, then all these other things will be added to you. So the provisions that need to be there will be there if I'm on mission doing the things that I'm called to do. So I'm called to bring people together. I'm called to reach out and help. I'm called to consider other people. So I'm not going to buy up things. I'm not going to spread bad news. I'm not going to herald the trumpets of doom and destruction, because I don't believe that doom and destruction is on the horizon. I believe that there's help and that there's hope. And I believe that what should lead the way, if and when this does come to Westmoreland County, is that the church should be flying the flag of Jesus, saying, hey, here's the Savior that in the sick reached out and helped and did what he was supposed to do. The church always leads the mark of helping hurting people. That's the goal of the church. When the church is doing what it's called to do, it is leading the charge, helping people that need help. So my eyes are open and I'm looking around. I'm calling the elderly in the church to see if they need anything and if there is anything that I can do for them. I'm not isolating as much as I have to away from people. I'm trying to figure out how I can serve people and how I can help people. We need more people doing that. So Greensburg, whether or not you believe in the Bible, I want to challenge you with this message. There is nothing better in life than when you live your life serving other people. So look around. Stop panicking. Stop worrying. Stop trying to shore up everything around you, because here's the reality. You cannot get rid of every threat, and you cannot put yourself in such a bubble that you will not in some way have the possibility of being infected or affected in something, whether it's through the stock market, whether it's through health, or whatever it may be. So here's what I want to challenge you to do. Rather than worrying about yourself, rather than panicking about what you have going on, rather than stockpiling all that you can for yourself, why don't you look around and let's try to find people that are in need, and let's look for opportunities that we can serve each other. Thank you for watching. I believe in my city, and I believe that my city is going to come through, regardless of whether the coronavirus comes here or not. I look forward to worshiping with these people on Sunday, and I'm excited to be a part of this city. So thanks for watching, because this is my city, Greensburg.